Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's time to peek behind the kitchen doors and see what really happens in our fine dining establishment, or the world of food and wine and all the fun things that we love to consume. But how does it get in front of us here? Today, we got a special version of it. We're going to talk about...
we search a fine dining community.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's all about.
It really was. It was a communal celebration here with food and wine, the Coastal Food and Wine Festival for the Priority Center here.
So our guest today, she's the CEO of a very special organization. It's called the Priority Center. And they do a fantastic job. I think Michelle will...
Woodhill.
Woodhill. Okay, I saw a couple different names, but Woodhill is
I mean, don't feel bad, because at the event, Dawn Marie called me Woodward. So.
Yeah, I know. That's why somewhere I heard that. So,
It's a very uncommon last name, so, a lot of people mix it up with different names.
Okay. All right, good. So, and so you're going to tell us a little bit what's the center do for the community, how involved you are, and all these details, and then we will move to that special event happened on June 7th, and with the Coastal Food and Wine Festival, and you will tell us if you were happy about it and successfully happy.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again. This is so fun.
Good.
We told her we had such a good time, we had to have her come back.
Yes. And last time, for some reason, when we had to create it because there was some cut somewhere, and now it's put back together. But when this show of today is going to air, and then we'll have the full length. And so, first tell us a little bit about the Priority Center. What's the behind it? What do you take care of? And I know you have a lot of cases you really handle.
Yeah, so at the Priority Center, what we do is we have prevention, intervention, and mental health services to prevent abuse and neglect. And the way that we do that is through 5 different programs. And we provide all these services in-home. And so our clinicians, caseworkers go directly to the families and serve these programs to over 2,500 families annually.
And these people that go to home, are they volunteers, or they actually have a full-time job or part-time job with the center?
The people who serve our families have full-time jobs. They range from licensed clinicians in our mental health program. So they serve children who are in crisis, and that program is 24/7 because, a crisis doesn't happen just between the hours of 9 to 5. So those are our licensed clinicians providing in-home therapy for the child who's the client. They're normally ages 6 to 17, but we can take up to 25. And then we also have caseworkers that work with the siblings and the parents to stabilize the home, because these clients are generally suicidal or have suicidal ideations. And then for our other programs, those are caseworkers. They are anywhere from people with MSWs or people who have bachelor's degrees who want to focus on social work. And those are in-home parenting education programming. So we work directly with parents on anything from developmental assessments and developmental milestones to nutrition, educational programming. We also provide the education to the parents. So it's a very well-rounded
So how do you get aware of a case?
So we actually don't work with children who have been abused. Our whole purpose is to prevent abuse and neglect. So I talked a little bit about it in my speech to the audience at the Coastal Food and Wine Festival. My previous career was a juvenile defense child advocate attorney, where I represented kids, usually between the ages of 14 to 16. And many times those kids came from homes that were very socially, economically disadvantaged, a lot of single parents. They came from communities where there are no resources, no after-school programs. And so a lot of times that's what led them to gang activity. And they just didn't have the support early on when they were children.
And so, well, you call your charity and a center. What really means center? You have like people working there and do report of their visit with the family and do follow up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So we do full case notes, we do intakes, we have to document all of our services, all of our visits. We have several programs that are funded by the County of Orange, and those are through the Healthcare Agency or First Five, which is focusing on children ages 0 to 5. And so we have to document everything very thoroughly for the county's purposes. Excuse me.
Okay.
Talk a little bit about First Five, because I don't. We had them in here a long time ago. I don't think people realize there is this whole organization. It's funded by the tobacco tax, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So it's funded by the tobacco tax. I can't recall exactly the proposition that was passed a few decades ago. I think it might have been Proposition 90 or 60 to allow funding for 0 to 5 programming. It's from the taxes from tobacco products, which
And
did
every county gets a share of that or whatever to spend. Yeah.
exactly. And so it took a little dip when smoking decreased, but it's taken a rise again now that vaping is popular. So
Yeah. So
yes. And so First Five is a nonprofit organization that's part of the Social Services Agency. And First Five has their own board. Supervisor Vincent Sarmiento is on the board. The president of First Five is a woman named Kim Grohl, and she's been part of the agency for a very long time. And she's an excellent leader for the organization. And we have some other nonprofit leaders who serve on the board as well.
so you work side by side.
Yeah, we work really closely with them. They're technically a funder of a couple of our programs. Our core program, our in-home parenting education program, which serves children 0 to 5. They primarily fund that program, and they've been one of our longest funders. Previously, it was the Department of Children and Families was, I think, the agency that funded it, and then it transitioned to First Five.
And so I didn't say, but Michelle, you are the CEO
Yes.
of the Priority Center. Congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
when I see your education and your degrees, you're more specialized in law and nonprofit as well.
Yes. So I went to law school because ultimately I wanted to start my own nonprofit or work for one. And I was debating between a law degree or a business degree. And I just felt that the law degree would be more beneficial for what I wanted to do. And I really wanted to focus on children's issues. And so when I finished law school, I had focused on in law school juvenile defense and child advocacy. And when I finished, I was looking for organizations that fell within those service areas. And so the Priority Center at the time was called the Child Abuse Prevention Center. And they were actually my very first nonprofit job.
So let's say I just come up with something in my mind. There's a really bad case, and kids get involved in huge trouble. Would you be called as a witness if there's a justice part of it?
Well, I think if I was, well, I don't know, not in my role now, but potentially in previous roles as a guardian ad litem attorney, that's where you're representing the interests of the child.
Yeah.
The court appoints you to represent the children in court. And so in that sense, you might have been called as a witness, but probably not, because your allegiance, if you will, is for the child who's your
Sure,
client.
So how do you get your cases? How do people come to you?
So at the Priority Center, we usually get cases from the social services. If they have a social worker, we'll get a referral. For the 0 to 5 program, it's directly from the hospital. A lot of times when a mother is in the hospital giving birth to a newborn, the hospital will refer them to us because they'll notice that that baby needs more support, the baby and the mother. For the mental health program, many of the referrals come directly from CHOC.
So support mentally, but support financially?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Financial support as well?
We provide not financial support in the sense of direct cash, but we do provide a lot of in-kind support. So if there's a foster child that's placed in a new home, many times they don't have the right amount of things. So our basic needs program will give them supportive items, anywhere from clothing, or if their baby's formula, diapers, wipes. We have had a huge increase in requests for food bags. So we'll deliver food bags to the new foster family. And a lot of these kids come to us because they are put into the foster system due to their parents being incarcerated or they've passed away due to a drug overdose. And with the rise of fentanyl, it's become very common, unfortunately.
Yeah, we visit the Second Harvest Foundation, I think, the other day.
Food bank, yeah.
Food
yeah.
bank.
Oh, yeah.
And then and they have pantries. I don't know if you send family to some of their pantry where they can get some food. How many cases you treat average on average a year?
So there are 2,500 different families that we serve.
Wow.
And sometimes we'll be with families for years. Sometimes it's just a few weeks. It really depends on the family's need. For example, with the in-home parenting education, we can be with them for up to 3 years. So if you get a referral for a newborn, we'll be with them until they're 3 years old.
Wow.
And how do people react to it? Somebody calls in somebody like you. I'm just picturing myself. I'm a parent, and maybe I'm struggling, and maybe I got a drug problem, maybe I'm whatever it is, anger management or whatever it is, and all of a sudden, I'm not parenting well. I'm abusing my children. I'm causing them harm. Whatever. Somebody notices this and calls you in. Do the parents welcome this help? Do they resist it? Do they fight it? Do they work with you? I mean, what if they just say, "The heck with you, get out of here"?
I mean, most people do welcome it, especially for the in-home parenting education programming, because our cases aren't really situations where someone has been called by Child Protective Services and we've gone into the home because of that. We are so far on the upstream, it's really the parents are realizing, hey, we do need help, and this is an organization that's willing to provide free help, and let's see what happens and take the free help.
That's amazing. So you just said earlier before we start the show, this is your first big charity event you did with the center, or
Because you've only been with the center for a short while, right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. What's the date?
What's the day? How many days are you counting them here?
It's about 5 months that I've been
Wow.
the CEO of the Priority
Okay,
Center.
okay.
Previous to my role at the Priority Center, I served as a chief development officer for a few different organizations for about 7 to 8 years. And then before that, it was different roles in fundraising. So I've been in philanthropy for over 15 years.
So obviously that's what we're aiming at here, to talk about the event and why you did
Yes.
this and how it worked.
But also I have to say, before we
Yeah.
jump there to the good part, I
The
think.
good part, yeah.
Yeah. You have an amazing board of a director of, so who get involved in the board and for what?
Yes, so you're right. We do have a really incredible board. Every one of our board members was in attendance at the event, which I've worked at many different charities, and that's not always the case.
Yeah.
Our board is very involved, very supportive, both with their time. What we call it the 3 T's: time, talent, and treasure. So they're all very involved in all 3 of those areas. So I feel really lucky to be working with this board. Also, because it was my very first nonprofit over 15 years ago, some of them are still board members. They've just renewed their terms. So that was really nice to see. And we get our board members from a variety of different ways, but mostly it's because a current board member has nominated someone to be considered to join the board. And so we have a whole vetting process and interview process that goes into play before someone is asked to join the board.
Oh, wonderful. So we're going to talk about detail of the event, but was it a successful event for the center?
Yeah, I think so. It raised almost $500,000, which is
Wow.
pretty incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great.
And we're a medium-sized nonprofit. We are about $7 million annually. We used to be $10 million annually a few years ago, but unfortunately, due to government cuts, they lost some county contracts. So we're in the process of building that up, but also really focusing on building up private philanthropy. So there's not as much reliance on these county contracts because they are so fickle. It really depends on, the administration, both locally and nationally. It depends on what's important to voters because they could pass legislation that changes the funding buckets. For example, in November 2024, the voters passed legislation to allow for funding to support more homeless causes. So what was previously the Mental Health Services Act now became the Behavioral Health Services Act. So they took money from that bucket and put it in a different bucket to support more homelessness.
To prevent or support, just
Actually, you're right. Yes, to prevent homelessness or to support resources for homelessness to create less homelessness.
yeah, because that's the key to
Yes.
sort of homeless situation. You got to, if you can prevent it, that's a win-win.
Precisely. And in Los Angeles, it's really become an epidemic. It's a lot. I feel very lucky here in Orange County. It's still obviously very prevalent here and it's around, but it's not at that same level as Los Angeles County, especially Los Angeles City.
It's worse. It's worse up there.
Yes, very much so. I mean, it's a larger city, more people.
Yeah, and the community is different. And nothing wrong with them, but here we're more together, I'm sure. And then Los Angeles is more, different parts.
Yeah.
So the west part and the east part maybe don't really work together, And if you go to the south part of Los Angeles, then there's more action there.
Mm-hmm.
Because, with all the missions. And so is there anything else you want to do as far as raising more money, or besides you all go take donation? That's
Yes,
correct?
absolutely. So in the past, the organization has sorry. I think
Every time we talk money, she coughs.
I know. I'm like, I don't know. There's something in my throat.
Money chokes her up here.
Not sure why there's a bit of a tickle, but so previously the organization was about 85% county funding. And so these were contracts. And, I say that the contracts are really helpful because we're able to serve many people at one time. And usually the contracts are anywhere from 3 to 5 years. So that's money that you can guarantee that you'll receive as an organization. But as the focus has changed for different government agencies and as the funding has decreased at all these different government agencies, those contracts tend to dry up. And I know a lot of my colleagues in other organizations are having to deal with funding cuts and changes and eliminating staff and those types of things. And so as an organization, we really want to focus in private philanthropy and increasing the private philanthropy money, because that's really where donors like yourself or like Paul can support an agency's mission, and there's not as many restrictions. Yes, you can decide that you want to support one specific program, but when you have a county contract, there's restrictions on, I can't give my team members raises because the county has determined what their salary level is going to be. I can't give my team members bonuses because the county has also determined what that level is going to be. So if I want to do those things, it has to be privately funded and supplemented. But then the county has to approve that, because if we're paying X person this amount of money, other agencies who are doing the same program also have to pay that person that X amount of money. So then the county doesn't likely approve it. So it makes it very complicated.
Yes, yeah. Sounds like you're kind of tight.
Yes.
With all the local rules and the county rules. And so are you looking maybe to get better, have less cases? Is there progress in the future that you can envision?
Yeah, ultimately, as an organization, and this again needs to be vetted out and approved with the board as a whole if we're changing our focus areas, but I would love to be more involved in the advocacy space and working in public policy, helping to implement changes in legislation. Maybe that's how cases are reported, how cases are considered, the foster care system. There's a variety of different ways that you can work within the public policy space. I'd love to get a white paper out on the success of in-home parent and education programs and crisis stabilization programs in preventing additional cases of abuse and neglect, because we need to figure out, how many cases are decreased because of the work we are doing, as well as other agencies like Olive Crest and Orangewood. So that would be a couple of goals of mine in the future.
And are you to try to get better in that? Are you involving the local school districts?
Yeah, so we work very closely with several school districts. We have one program that goes into the school district and provides free developmental assessments. So we had one case in particular was a single mother, and she was constantly getting called from the school because her child was getting kicked out of class and going to the principal's office. And she didn't understand why. They had asked, "Are you having trouble at home?" And she said, "No, at home he listens well, and sometimes doing his homework is difficult, but let's be honest, it's always difficult to do homework.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do that." And so the school referred her to us, and we were able to provide a free assessment for her son, and it turned out he was autistic and had ADHD. So then we helped her secure an independent education plan to ensure that her son got the right resources in school so that he can succeed. So then he's successful. She's no longer getting calls to come to the school to pick him up. So she's able to focus on her job and be a better parent because she's not carrying around that extra stress and anxiety.
Are you able to help this family who probably don't have the financial capacity to get them medical support?
Yeah, so we're able to refer them out to free services where, they could get therapy, they could get other support, maybe tutoring services for her son. So we do have access to all of those referrals because if there's a program or need that we don't personally do, we have great relationships with other partner organizations and we're able to refer people out.
So are we planning to do the same event again next year?
Yes. So we have the date secured. It's going to be Sunday, June 6th at the same place.
Wait, let me write that down. Let me put it on my calendar here.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about the event a little bit. Just my impression of it was, I know you hired Kristen Martin to put
Yes,
it on.
we love Kristen.
Yes.
And Kristen's been in here, and she specializes putting on these very high-level food and wine kind of festivals. I don't know that model that well. I don't see it that often. What is that? Is that a new thing? Is that an unusual thing?
It is special because first it's called coastal, so we're right there on the Pacific.
Right.
So people came a bit more casual and start in the afternoon from 5 to 9:30, and people just wander around. It's a beautiful place. The Hyatt Regency is a nice resort, and
One I had not been to that often. I didn't realize it's sort of a village on that second floor and overlooks the ocean and
Yeah.
PCH and all that.
because
Yeah.
anywhere you grab a piece of food from the chef that were there, and or even have a little beverage, you do it looking at the ocean.
Yeah.
It was really special.
I guess what I'm getting at is this a new model? Is this a new way? You've been involved in raising funds for a long time. It seems like it's a tired, worn-out model. You come, there's an award, they give out lots of speeches, you sit in a ballroom for hours, and then finally they do a silent auction, and hopefully they raise a bunch of money.
Yeah, the old model, I'm sure, it still exists for some charity events, but it used to be all the time. You go to the big ballroom, and then you have a corner with silent auction, and then people say, "Okay, only 15 minutes left," blah blah blah, and then we start the live auction, and
With a bunch of speeches and a bunch of things in
and
between.
people, it's too long. You don't.
If you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you don't pay attention anymore, and it's loud, and then they serve you some food. Could be more of a banquet style, and so it's basically a banquet raising money.
So what attracted
so-
you to this model here? I mean, I'm giving a shout out to Kristen and what she's created here, but
What she created is it's a party.
it's a party. It was a
It
big
was
party.
a party,
Yeah.
and it was people were talking on, were meeting friends and making more friends, and from one place to another.
And there were, 70 different booths? There was quite
Yeah.
a lot of booths
Yes,
there.
yes.
But lots of places with wineries and
40
liquor companies and restaurants
yeah.
and catering companies and all sorts of things.
Yeah, and a lot of beverage booth
A
as
lot of them,
well, you
yeah.
know.
So I'm asking Kristen, or I mean
Michelle.
Michelle,
Yeah.
why did you try this? This had to be something new out of your wheelhouse here, out of your past experience here. Why try something new like this?
Absolutely. So in the past, the Priority Center, and when I also worked there back in 2010, had done the traditional gala. And it had, you show up, it's a cocktail reception, you do the silent auction, you go into the ballroom, you listen to the CEO address the crowd, you have a few people accept awards, you do the live auction, you do the fund the need, and then everybody goes home. And everybody sits there for a plated dinner. It's 3 courses, and it's a very long event. And I think after COVID, donors are really looking for something different.
Yeah.
There's about 8 to 9,000 different nonprofit organizations in Orange County at one time,
Yeah.
and we're all competing for the same attention and the same amount of money, and we're all trying to do our best and serve the community. And as a donor, because I'm also a donor, I support other organizations. I sit on 2 other charity boards serving in that capacity. I like to attend events where it's unique and it's different and it's fun and it's relaxed and
And it's engaging. You feel
Yeah.
like you look forward to it. You feel part of the organization. It's a community. It's not just a cattle call where everybody lines up, gets fed, and opens up their
Yeah.
wallets.
And
Yeah, exactly.
And especially because I would say 75% of the time of the event was outdoor. And so people on nice Sunday afternoon, we had good weather, it was not too hot, not too windy, it was not windy at all. And people came even their Sundays casual dress. And
They
some
seemed
people-
very engaged. They were having a good
Yeah.
time. They weren't looking at their watches saying, how much longer do I have to
No,
stay here?
Yep.
Some people dressed up a little bit, but it was still more really California coastal attires,
Yep.
and so we could tell people had a great time, and we had good music. We had a great DJ, and some people were dancing, but, so it was fun. It
So
was
what would you tell other charities who are looking to diversify or looking to stand out, looking to do
they
something
don't have
fun?
to copy.
They have to copy,
They-
but
No, yeah. I mean, there's probably no room for them to copy. I think Kristen has a full slate of
Yeah.
events,
Yeah, exactly.
but
And-
things like this that bring people out and you taste and you talk and you engage and it seems more involved. It seemed more connected.
And I tell you,
Certainly more
for as a chef, I had my own booth there,
Yep.
and it's much better than if you were like a less chef that just serve 3 of what I mean, guess what, 450.
Yeah, there are about 500 people.
Yeah. So if you serve 500 people and you only maybe you don't even meet them, but here for about 4 hours, people walk around and you meet. I serve 250, 300 portions
Right.
of my food, so that means they come to you. So you have contact with the guests.
Well, it's more. There's more interaction because there's so many booths and
So
the
the-
crowd split. They're not just standing in a long line trying to get
So
fed by a caterer.
yeah, as a publicity for the chef or the restaurant, it's better exposure for them. And so
That's a good
so
point,
it's really a win-win. Great for the charity, great for the people that bring food and beverages. And so
So what were your favorite things walking around, Michelle? We talked about it last week, some of the things I saw. I saw some liquor companies I had never seen before, some wineries, a couple of restaurants I'd never met. All these things stood out. The one that everybody was raving about was the steelhead trout, the salmon that Chef Pascal was representing here.
That was
from-
very good. I think I had 3 of those. It was very
it's
good.
called a hazy, yeah.
A0, right.
sure.
the
Yeah.
farm-raised salmon that he's representing here. But any other things that stood out in your mind here that you went, wow, that's just something, I never tried that before, saw that before?
You know, I'm a big oyster person too, and the gentleman, I don't remember which restaurant he was serving, but it was the Kushi oysters, and he had a little mignonette on
Yeah,
top that
yeah.
was quite delicious. That was very good. My husband really liked it was I don't know if it was a short rib with a ravioli. He really liked that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the lamb chops at the front
Oh,
that
yeah,
are from
yeah.
Chef Manfred's restaurant were
right.
always a big hit.
Yeah, actually, we need to do a shout out to Chef Manfred. That's really is the resort executive chef.
Yes.
And
What place is he at? Where is he at?
He's the executive chef for Hyatt.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, for
Okay,
the
right there.
Hyatt, and but it's his main restaurant is called
Within the Hyatt there?
no, the what?
Within the Hyatt, there's a restaurant.
Yeah,
restaurant.
yeah.
Yeah, it's actually very good. I've eaten
Yeah.
there a couple times.
It's called the Oceanfront.
Well, let's get him on here. Let's get in touch with him. Let's get Chef
It's,
Manfred. Because again, I don't know why I never think of going up to the Hyatt Regency. Maybe because we talked about this before. Most resorts don't have a lot of public coming into them. They're people who stay, and the cuisine is for those who are staying there. And you don't generally venture in because somehow you got a valet and go through the check-in and the front
Right.
door and find it in the whole resort. I don't go and eat at the Montage or any of those places of the Hyatt Regency. I don't know why. And I think more and more, at least what we've heard on this show, is that the resorts are saying, please do come. We want to reach out to you. We want to be a community resource and not just a tourist destination here.
And I'm sure if you go to the Hyatt and you go to his restaurant there, the main restaurant, if you tell them what you did when you came to the event, they will take very good care of you. You won't feel like you are in a hotel or restaurant.
Yeah, right.
It has a very good vibe inside. It's really nice seating, good lighting, great cocktail menu, wine list.
See, there you go. Well, let's get him on the show. Do we know anybody that knows him here?
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I was surprised at the reception. It was a fun thing. I've been to some of other Kristen's events, and they're always well attended and a lot of fun. But something about this, when everybody just kind of agreed there was something special. Maybe it was the location, maybe it was the selection, maybe it was just the vibe in the air, but there was something good going on that day here. Coastal Food and Wine Festival. So we've already got the next one. When is it? In June again?
Sunday, June 6th. Same location at the Huntington, the Hyatt Regency in Huntington. And Kristen will, of course, be running it. Pascal will be there leading all the chefs. And
That
also,
says something to immediately lock in another one. That meant the
Yeah.
location was happy, you were happy, the participants
Yeah.
were happy, everybody was happy.
And you know, this was only our second year doing it.
Oh,
of
okay.
course, they didn't have events during COVID
Right.
and they wanted something different. So they tried it last year. The board decided, and of course, I wasn't part of the organization then, but they thought it was quite successful last year. They had about 350 attendees. And then this year we had about 500 attendees.
There you go. There you go. It's growing. Next year there'll be
And-
1,000 people.
And we need to shout out also to all the chefs that came. And,
Always.
they work very hard for several hours there. And everybody's, it's not a competition, but, have
A show off.
put a little bit of pride.
Look what I'm doing.
Put
Look
a
what I
lot of
got.
pride.
Yeah.
And they're all different, So the variety of food is amazing, unbelievable.
Yeah, just excellent feedback from everybody I spoke to. Everybody had such a great time, especially, those of people in my circle and my close friends who have come to other events that I've hosted with different charities. They all really, really loved this one.
See, there you go. There you go. It's a
And
hit.
because it's coastal, so a lot of food, not a lot, but the majority were seafood oriented.
A lot of seafood stuff
Yeah,
there, which
a lot of
which
seafood.
I don't know. Again, in Orange County, I don't see as much seafood as I always think I should see here.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just me, but I don't know if there are as many seafood places around as I somehow
Well,
think you should be in the coastal area here.
They are, but they're sometimes more like touristy. But
Maybe, yeah.
good with chefs that really can put their own touch into it. There's a few.
We'll have to get your friend that was here the last show from Oceans and Earth to participate next year.
Yes, he was there.
Oh, he was there?
He was there,
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't see him. Okay.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. All right. Any final takeaways or thoughts on the event? It sounds like it was a hit. You're doing it again. What else do you do throughout the year? Do you do any other kinds of events or fundraisers? Is this your one and only gala each year that you rely upon?
So this is our biggest fundraiser, and we are about to secure a date for our pickleball and tennis tournament.
Pickleball. There's a new one. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So last year, and I think the year before, they did do pickleball, but we decided to add tennis this year because I'm an avid tennis player, and I have a few board members who are really into tennis, and they wanted to add tennis. So we'll be doing that this year, and it's going to be in October. We haven't secured the date yet, but it's looking like it'll be the weekend of Indigenous Peoples Day, so either October 9th, 10th, or 11th.
And
Okay.
where?
We're going to host it at Nellie Gale in Laguna Niguel.
Oh, wonderful. Yes.
Because we had to look at clubs that had both pickleball and tennis, because some places are just pickleball, some places are just tennis, and so we need to appeal
I
to
don't
all people.
get this whole pickleball craze, but it's caught hold and everybody's doing it. I guess everybody's just like an easy way to play tennis or something here.
So now that you said you're going to be a little bit more soft, what's your radius that you take care of people? It's not just
Is it all of Orange
Central
County?
Orange County. Or
It's all Orange County.
Yeah.
The majority of the clients come from Santa Ana and Anaheim, but we serve people all the way from Seal Beach down to San Juan Capistrano and San Clemente.
Wow, amazing.
From one end to the other.
And
here.
then inland, of course, too.
So you have a number or maybe
How
a
do they reach you? How do
website?
they find out more?
So you can just go to theprioritycenter.org and you can look up our different programs. You can donate. You can look at other ways to get involved, whether that's through our various events. We also have our Families Helping Families, which is an adopt a family program. We have the community adopt over 300 of our families during the holidays.
And what does that mean? They just financially support them? Or?
Well, we produce Christmas lists. Sorry. I don't know what
Every
I
time
ate
you
today.
ask for something,
I know.
right? Every time it's a call to action here, it's a...
Yeah, it's like something, it's almost as if I ate pepper, but I didn't. So our Families Helping Families is our Adopt a Family event. What we do is we put on our website the different wish lists for our families, and families and groups and corporations within the community go online and they select a family to adopt. Then they go shopping for those specific
look at
items.
that. There you
And
go.
how many priority centers there are in California or
Is this
over
something
the
elsewhere, or is this just
country?
in Orange County? Yeah.
So we're just in Orange County. I'd love to expand a little bit further, maybe into the Inland Empire. There's another organization in Los Angeles County called All for Kids that does very similar work to ours. And there's no other specific organization like ours in San Diego.
There you go. Well, there's a need.
There's definitely a need.
Maybe you know, yeah, there will be more work for you, but you know, I'm sure you can put
have
that
to just
together.
do a few more coastal food and wine festivals.
I was
down
going to
in
say,
San Diego.
just have to get to a couple more major donors, maybe some
Yeah.
more county contracts, and we'll be on our way. Obviously, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but you know, the need is there. There's
But also, I saw before we end, you were involved with a medical institution before as well.
yes.
And
Oh, with my previous role, so I worked in raising money for cancer research for about a decade. Most of it was in breast cancer, which is why I serve on 2 other boards that represent the needs of women who are breast cancer survivors and breast cancer research, as well as gynecological cancers. So that's really a side passion of mine because I spend so much time in that breast cancer community.
Amazing. Yeah, you're very charitable, and you I'm sure you really love doing what you do, and so so a big shout out for what you do, all the people that work for you, with you, and to all the chefs, to Christine Martin to put all that together, to the host hotel, Hyatt Regency, and and we're looking forward to get together again next year.
Yes, me too.
So,
Thank you.
Thanks for coming by and letting us share in this thing here and then share the story with everybody.
you have an
here.
address where if people go to the address of the Priority Center, what do they expect when they get there?
So you mean our office address?
Yeah.
Oh, well, the office address is honestly very boring because it's usually just me and some other accountants and our HR and that sort of thing.
It's behind the kitchen doors. You don't want to go see the behind the kitchen doors.
Well,
work here.
and so I didn't mention because all of our programs are in home. My program staff is 100% remote, and I'd like to say the organization would not exist for the staff that are serving these families because they really are the heart of the organization, and they are so committed. And our clients love them, and they love and appreciate all the services
What's
they
the
get.
size of your staffing?
We are about 60.
Okay.
Yeah. But we do have a physical warehouse for our in-kind program, our basic needs program, and that's in Garden Grove.
But
and
it
we-
isn't like a walk. I think that's what Chef was hinting at before. It's not like when you hear the center, you think somehow that's a walk-in center, and there are classrooms and other sorts of places people participate in. It's all done in-home.
It's all done in home, or we'll go to schools, or we'll go to resource centers, or we'll go to community centers like the Deli Center and provide presentations. So, yes, our office is just an office.
Good. Well, that's good. You don't want to have people to.
Yeah.
To,
All right, I'm going to wrap it up right there. Thanks again for joining us, and go find out more about the Priority Center. Check them out. It was prioritycenter.org.
ThePriorityCenter.org.
The
Yes.
Priority, the one and only, prioritycenter.org. Check it out and make that date for, what is it, June something?
June 6th,
Yes.
2027.
20.
Chef is on it.
Okay, there we go. We'll see you then.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Well, there you have it. One more reason to tune in and find out what's happening behind the kitchen doors as we explore all the world of fun and food and drinks and dining and what it takes to present all that to our community here, to create a community built around it. Right here on China's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio, streaming live from our studios here at the University of California, Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center.